Ever get that feeling? You know, like you're so locked in on something, everything else just kind of melts away.
Oh, yeah, yeah, totally. Like you're in the zone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're diving into today. Laser focus. And, not some mystical thing, but like the real deal, how to actually get it.
The thing is, it's not about forcing yourself to go harder, you know? It's more about training your brain to be present, engaged.
Okay, so like building mental muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't expect to bench press a ton without working up to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same with focus. The more you challenge yourself, the stronger that focus muscle gets.
Makes sense. So no more brute forcing our way through work. It's about smarter training. But let's be real, there are distractions everywhere.
Mhm.
What are some of the biggest focus killers we're dealing with these days?
Oh man, where do we even start? Social media is a big one. Those notifications are like a black hole for our attention.
Totally. And it's not just social media. It's like our brains are hardwired to get pulled in a million directions.
Right. Like we think we're being super productive, juggling a million things at once, but multitasking, myth.
Ugh, tell me about it. I've definitely fallen for that trap.
We all have.
Yeah.
But the science is clear. Our brains just aren't designed for it. Every time we switch tasks, bam, there's a cost. Takes way longer to get stuff done.
So all those harmless glances at our phones, they add up.
Big time. And it's not just our devices. Cluttered workspace,
Mm-hmm.
noisy coffee shop, all those little things chip away at our concentration.
Okay, so we've identified the enemies of focus. Now, how do we fight back? What are some practical things we can do to, like, actually boost our concentration?
All right, so want to know a secret weapon? Crystal clear goals.
Instead of write a report, it's like finish the intro by lunch.
Exactly. That level of detail, that's what guides your focus. And for actually managing your time, the Pomodoro technique is a game changer.
So that's where you set a timer and work in blocks, right? I've heard of it, but
That's right.
how does it actually work?
It's not just about the timer, it's about working with your natural energy. See, our brains have these natural high focus and low alertness cycles. Pomodoro, with its 25-minute sprints and breaks, it syncs up with that, sustainable focus.
So we're not fighting our biology, we're using it to our advantage. Love it. What else for time management?
Task batching. Group similar things together, answer all your emails, then write, then make calls. Less mental gear shifting, more getting stuff done.
Streamlining the mental workflow. I like it.
Right. And to cut down on those outside distractions, design yourself a distraction-free zone. Phone on silent, close those tempting tabs. Maybe even use one of those apps that block distracting websites. Out of sight, out of mind.
Goals, time management, our physical space,
Yeah.
it's all connected. But we can't forget the connection between our bodies and our minds.
100%. You can't expect your brain to run on fumes, right? Sleep, food, hydration, even a little exercise, these things have a huge impact on focus.
So that late night Netflix binge, maybe not the best for focus the next day, huh?
Let me ask you, would you expect your car to run smoothly without enough gas and after you've ignored all the maintenance lights?
Definitely not a recipe for a smooth ride.
It's the same with your brain. Think about it, a solid 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Fueling your body with good stuff like blueberries, maybe some salmon, and water, lots of water. That's the difference between feeling foggy and being laser sharp.
Okay, yeah, you've convinced me. And speaking of giving our brains a break, let's talk about those pauses throughout the day. It seems counterintuitive, but doesn't stepping away actually make us more productive?
Exactly. It's about preventing burnout. Those short breaks, like a quick walk, some stretching, maybe a few minutes of meditation, they let your brain reset, recharge. You come back feeling refreshed and focused.
Hitting the mental refresh button.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. Let's say someone is facing a huge, overwhelming project. How could they use all this to get a handle on it and actually make progress?
All right, so first, clear goals. Break that monster project down into smaller bite-sized pieces. Then, Pomodoro technique. Work in focused sprints, avoid getting overwhelmed, and work with those natural energy levels we talked about.
I can see how that would be a game changer.
Or, picture this. You're constantly getting pulled away by those pesky social media notifications. Create that distraction-free zone, phone silenced, apps blocked, and suddenly you can really focus. Less stress, more getting stuff done.
Okay, so as we wrap up, what are the most important takeaways for our listeners to actually sharpen their focus?
Start small. Don't go crazy trying to change everything overnight. Pick one or two things that speak to you. Maybe it's setting those super clear goals or trying out the Pomodoro technique and ease them into your routine.
And remember, creating that distraction-free zone, prioritizing sleep, those little breaks, those aren't just productivity hacks, it's self-care.
Here's something to think about. What if you stopped thinking of focus as this thing you have to force and
Mhm.
started getting curious about it? What if you treated these techniques like fun experiments to see what really works for your brain?
Love that. Thanks for diving into all this with us.
Anytime. This was fun.